Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning?
What? What does that have to do with you?
We're visiting this town on a field study as students of Thor's military academy. And we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourselves handle difficult everyday situations. Seems a perfect opportunity for an anecdotal case study, and could prove most invaluable able to our education if you'd permit it. Oh, sorry.
Alright, stay here. I'll see what I can do.
Looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Nicely done, Laura. In times like these, we need to make good use of our position. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn, after all. But now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Well, let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say. Right.
I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. So, what do you want? And make it quick. I'm a busy man, you know.
He's not even trying to keep up appearance, and unbelievable. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the Provincial Army will be conducting no further investigation?
Is that all you came to here to ask?
Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure.
You've got a big mouth for someone your age. And it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work.
What do you mean?
Let me ask you this. What should the number one priority of the Provincial Army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you. Their number one priority should be to enforce the will of their region's ruling lord,
Duke Alborea.
As members of the Provincial Army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect.
I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the Grand Market isn't something you have a duty to protect?
Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers. We follow our orders. That's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductee telling us how to do our jobs.
This is short of shame. I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but sure doesn't seem too likely anymore.
So is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do.
Wait, would you mind answering just one more question? Elliot?
Fine, ask it.
Well, do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant. All he had left was that one sample.
What are you talking about? That merchant from the capital, Hines, was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What?
What did you say?
What are you all looking at me like that for?
How do you know that?
Oh yeah, the one that was selling the accessories never got a chance to to tell people or put it up.
I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all.
Oh yeah. That's another thing. They said that they weren't gonna investigate it.
How peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intended to sell a short while ago, ourselves.
Aha! Sir! We have our own ways of finding these things out. You do well not to underestimate us. Now we wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving.
Something's definitely up. They're stumbling. They're stumbling and they're fumbling and bumbling. Do you think the fact that they knew what each of the merchants was selling means they did investigate the matter after all? But the burglary happened last night, and it was only first discovered this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during that time for them to do any digging. Not without running into us. Agreed. I suspect they know what each merchant was planning to sell, well, in advance of yesterday's incident. Though that would be easy information for them to learn since Duke Alberea must have issued permits for both stalls. That's true, and the army would have no trouble gaining access to transactions records for something like that. But why would they bother? Maybe they need to know so they could prepare. Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. It was probably done to get them to start fighting so they could get robbed while there was tension between them. Basically to create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. That seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the provincial army has shown no interest in actively working toward a solution, unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand, then showed up to force both parties into an uncomfortable truce. Eventually the merchants would get worn down enough that they'd feel like they have no choice but to withdraw the petition. This has turned out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we finally uncovered the truth of the matter. That was indeed some very quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military strategist. I just got lucky, that's all. So what we know is the provincial army is somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime.
The only way to solve it once and for all, though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the Provincial Army, that's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. The soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands with such escapades.
I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I thought they're still here in Caldic. There just aren't many viable places to hide such a huge volume of goods without them being found.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they escaped by train? No. That can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. It's been less than a day since the burglary happened, so they can't have gotten far. Maybe we should ask around on main roads and see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious may have been spotted leaving or even entering the town.
That sounds like a wise course of action. Come, let's resume our search. We mustn't let this cowardly thief run free. I wouldn't dream of it.
Alright, well, right off the bat, we're going to the West Road because that's where the next freaking side mission is. What the hell? Make us go to the East Road? Oh wait, no, there's a mission right there on that area. Like near the East Road. Well, like the next part of the mission. Didn't mean to talk to the cat.
Yes. Lulu, are you okay? Look what that nasty man did to her.
Is something the matter?
I was just chasing after Lulu near the west exit, and there was this weird man asleep along the side. A weird man? To sleep in the midst of a bustling town like this, oblivious to its dangers, suggests he must possess formidable skill. Or he was really drunk. The nasty smell coming off of him nearly made little Lulu faint. That's terrible. It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll have to keep an eye on Lulu to make sure she keeps her distance.
So he's not from this town then?
I'm not sure. I only started seeing him around a few days ago. I'd never seen him before that. Really now, that sounds like a lead if I ever heard one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day and isn't Instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant at the very least.
Yeah, I think we should go talk to him. Let's go have a look near the west exit and see if we can track him down.
There's someone on the west exit.
This guy? Drink! Bring me another drink!
P.U., this guy reeks. How much has he put down?